Recently, the White House stated that Russia might be launching a chemical attack on Ukraine. Where did this assumption come from? Russia called the Emergency Security Council, UN Security Council meeting, claiming that Ukraine develops a biological weapon. It happens to be one of the most favorite Kremlin's tactics to accuse someone of doing something that they are themselves intending to do. Why chemical weapons? Because it had been seen in other places where Russia was involved, including Syria and Great Britain, by the way. Now, what is a chemical weapons? Any kind of munitions that carry toxins or chemical substances that attack a body system. Some attack lungs and respiratory system, causing the victim to drown in their lungs secretion. Others burn the skin and blind people. And then there's the most lethal category of all, nerve agents that interfere with the brain's messages to body muscles. All of these chemical agents can be used in a warfare, in artillery bombs, shells, or missiles. And guess what? Yes, if there was a no-fly zone over Ukraine, any potential risk could be reduced simply because Russian planes would not be allowed over the territory of Ukraine. Meanwhile, the head of NATO once again rejected the idea of a no-fly zone over Ukraine because, quote, that would mean that Russian forces would have to be attacked. That would risk a direct confrontation and an uncontrollable escalation. At the same time, the Polish president said today that the use of chemical weapons by Russia in Ukraine would be a game changer, and NATO would have to think seriously on how to respond. Now let me get it straight. You know that there exists a risk of use of chemical weapons. You know that Russia is capable of doing it because it's done it before. You know that it's possible because Russia's been bombing Ukraine for over 2 weeks now. And you also know that you can prevent the loss of lives by establishing a no-fly zone. But you don't do it. Instead, you're waiting for it to happen. And only then you might think about the response. And in the meantime, let those Ukrainians die there, correct? Because you're afraid of Russia, correct? The most powerful military alliance in the world is afraid of Russia, correct? Even though it's being stopped at every step by the Ukrainian armed forces. But you're still afraid. So let Russia have and destroy the entire territory of Ukraine and kill all its citizens. And then you maybe think about it. As a Ukrainian, I have a question. Is this the sort of values that West is standing on?